Hi everyone, my name is Mabel Baloyi, and I'm passionate about partnering with you in bringing your purpose to life. And in my journey of helping others and partnering with others in bringing their purpose to life, I come across different types of people that have gone through different types of pains and situations. And I want to address the issue of the issue of being broken and being crushed for purpose. And in the next few weeks, I want to talk about this issue, and I want to have different people that could come on and tell us about their experience of being broken, their experience of being crushed, their experience of being grinded. I always say there is no precious stone without the grinding of the stone. There is no, olive oil without the crushing of an olive. There is no gold without, gold having to be purified by fire, going through the fire. So many a times we all find ourselves in situations where we have to be crushed. We find ourselves in situations where we have to be grinded. We find ourselves in situations where we have to be broken, where we have to go through the fire, where we have to go through the high waters. But we know that God has promised us never to leave us nor forsake us, no matter what kind of pain we're going through. When we go through the fire, He is there. When we go through the high waters, He is there. When we go through brokenness, He is there. When we are crushed, He is there. Whatever type of experience that we go through, He promised never to leave us, and He promised never to forsake us. So in a few weeks to come, I want to talk about being broken and crushed for purpose. And today I just want to address the issue of brokenness, the issue of pain. I want to talk about pain. What exactly is pain? I know that you have been through some episodes of pain. I've been through a numerous, amount of episodes of pain in my life in the past. And, pain has become an essential part of our lives. We all go through pain. And in this season, many people are experiencing a lot of pain due to COVID-19 because they find themselves in a situation where their loved ones, their family members are going through, pain, or they lose their loved ones. And sometimes it's even worse because you lose your loved one and you can't even support them in hospital. You can't visit them in hospital. So the pain is too much. The pain is too much. So we experience, a whole number of, different types of pain in our lives. And I just want to explain what exactly is pain. When we talk about pain, what exactly are we talking about? Pain is something that is overwhelming. It overwhelms many of us, and pain is explained by the dictionary. When you look into the dictionary and looking for the meaning of pain, it's something that has to do with suffering, something that has to do with affliction, agony. It's something that has to do with torment, sorrow. It is something that has to do with heartbreak. It is something that has to do with grief, unhappiness, sadness, distress, desolation, and misery. When we go through pain, we we go through these different types of feelings. We feel miserable. We feel that we are in distress. we feel, that we are going through sorrow, we are going through affliction, we are going through some kind of unhappiness and sadness in our lives, and pain, it is always that missing ingredient. It is always, when we talk about pain, we talk about the fact that there is an ingredient that is missing, and this ingredient that is missing is found between, joy and sorrow, because you find yourself not being able to be joyful, and you are sorrowful, and then you feel pain. Pain is the difference between joy and sorrow. Pain is experienced every time when people are experiencing pain. This is what is happening in them. The minute there is no harmony, there is no synchronization between the human theology, that's when we begin to experience pain. The moment there is no harmony, the moment there is no proper synchronization between your mind, your body, and your soul, that's when you begin to experience pain, because you find that there is no balance. There is no balance between your body, your mind, and your soul. Then there is that space where you feel helpless, you feel hopeless, you feel useless, you feel empty, you feel despondent, you feel you feel empathetic, you feel that kind of emptiness in your life. That's when you feel pain. So every time you are going through pain, there is an imbalance of some sort in you. Your body, your mind, and your soul are not in harmony. Something is missing. And we experience pain in different ways. We experience pain in different ways, and we respond to pain in different ways. And I believe that I am talking to people today that have experienced pain. And um, for the fact that you are listening to me, I believe that your threshold of, your threshold of, you have a higher threshold of dealing with pain. You know how to deal with pain. You know that the reason for pain is that you are being prepared for something great. You are being broken for purpose. You are being broken for higher purpose. You are being broken for your divine purpose. Now, when you get to that point of being broken for purpose, you understand. You begin to understand that there is nothing that you can do without going through pain, because you learn a lot of things in that process. Process is very much important. Process is very much key. It is important that we go through pain, and when you go through pain, you realize that God is preparing you and is taking you to greater heights. I have a lot of episodes of pain, and one of the episodes of pain that I have been through, I want to share with you this episode, which was so terrible, which made me actually to to lose that balance, to feel that pain, to feel that emptiness, to feel that sorrow, to feel that grief. I was so grieved when I was going through this type of pain. A lot of people ask me a question: how many children do you have? And I say, I have one. And their response will be, you're lazy. You are lazy. And I'm like, these people don't know what I've been through. Now, let me tell you why I have one child. I was pregnant 6 times, but I only had one. God blessed me with one daughter. God allowed one daughter to be alive. I lost all 5 children. I had 5 miscarriages. All of them were very, very painful. All of them left me with some kind of emptiness in my heart. All of them left me with a certain amount, a certain level of pain. And I went to God about it, and I cried to God about it. But I had to go through that that kind of pain. And every time I go through that kind of pain, it was different. The last miscarriage, I I lost a son at my pregnancy was 7 months old. And I went to the hospital on Friday, and not on Friday, I beg your pardon, on Saturday, 5 p.m. I went to the hospital, and the nurses called my doctor to say, your patient is here. The doctor didn't show up. The doctor didn't show up from 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, the whole night. The doctor didn't show up. I was in a terrible, terrible space. I was feeling pain all over. It was horrible. The nurses were, from time to time, they were coming to my bed, and they were talking to me, trying to encourage me. I lost a lot of blood in that night alone. I remember that I was even counting as they kept on changing the sheet. They changed my sheet 7 times because I was bleeding a lot. It was not even a child's play. I was bleeding a lot, and my bleeding came out also with huge, very huge blood clots, where they were even thinking that it's probably, the baby, but how should the baby come out in such big clots, in bits and pieces like that? So they changed my bed 7 times in that night. And I remember one nurse saying to me, you know what? I don't know if the doctor is going to come tomorrow morning. If he didn't come tonight, tomorrow he's a church person. He's probably going to church. I was like, oh my God. I just said to God, my life is in your hands, because at that point in time, I've lost a lot of blood. I was feeling so weak. 9 a.m. the following day on Sunday, I think the doctor, before he goes to church, he made a turn at the hospital because they called him a lot of times during that night as I was struggling and crying and feeling such a lot of pain. And then he came, he asked them, did you see the fetus? And they said, no, we didn't see the fetus. And the doctor just put on a glove, and guess what he did? He reached out into my womb with his hand, and he pulled my son out. He pulled him out, and he said to me, would you like to see him? What do you say as a mother? You've been struggling. You've been going through pain the whole night. You've been carrying this precious person in your womb for 7 months. Will you say, no, I don't want to see him? Will you just say, okay, let him go? Because after he pulled him out, he said, we lost him. He's not alive. And he said, would you like to see him? That was a difficult question. But, I really, really wanted to see him. And the nurse was asking, are you sure this is going to traumatize you? And I said, I want to see him. And the doctor was holding him like this. The doctor was holding him like this and saying, this is your baby. Closing his eyes peacefully, looking like his father. And I was alone in that room. Nobody was there. There was a conference at church, and yeah, I was all by myself at that point in time. And the doctor said, would you like to hold him? What do you say? What do you say? Do you say no? Do you say yes? He's not alive. He's dead. And they're asking you, would you like to hold him? And I said to doctor, yes. I would like to hold him. I held him in my arms. I looked at him. I felt, I felt like waking him up. I felt like they should take him and put him, in those incubators and help him to breathe again. But that was not possible. That was my last pregnancy. And then they asked me, what do you want us to do with with him? And I said, okay, just keep the baby until my husband is here so that we can both make a decision what we want to do. Then when my husband came, we decided that, okay, we don't want to take him home, so the hospital can bury him. At that time, really, I felt like, it's better the hospital is burying him. But my heart was broken. My heart was broken into pieces. And we actually spoke about it, and we agreed that we won't try again. It's enough. It's okay. I struggled. I suffered for all these 5 pregnancies. I've been through pain. So even my mother-in-law was saying, we cannot, push and try to have someone that we don't know and lose someone that we already know. So we'd rather have you than to lose you because we are trying to have somebody that we don't know. So it was almost like, the family is there for me and is supporting me in that, through that pain. So pain is something that is very, very much, overwhelming. And I understood. I understood later, why did I go through such brokenness? Why did I go through such pain? And the Lord confirmed to me as I was asking Him, and I was mentioning a number of pain episodes that I've been through. And I was saying, God, I've been through this pain. I've been rejected. I've been cheated upon. I've been, I've been, I did not receive proper, parental love from both parents. I was denied the education. I was not supposed to be educated, actually, given the situation, the way things were. I had to push for myself, go and work. I started working at the age of 16 and take myself to school. And even after that, I still had to take myself to tertiary. And every time I tell people my story, they shed tears because sometimes people look at us and they think that people are not going through things, people are okay. Some people will just hate you for nothing. Some people will just be jealous about you for nothing. They don't know what you've been through. They don't know your struggles. They don't know your pain. They don't know how much you've been crushed and broken, but they will be so much jealous about you. I struggled to get the things that I have today because of purpose. Something within me was pushing me. Something within me was making me to remain strong and to do that which God has called me to do. And I found that in the midst of pain, when I served God, I was getting healed. In the midst of pain, when I tried to help others that are going through pain, I was actually receiving healing for myself. So pain is an essential part of your life as a child of God. Pain is crucial. You need to go through it. So now we decided that it's okay. We will not try again. But imagine the pain that people will, cause you again by asking you about your children. And when you answer, they don't even bother to ask yourself, why are you only having one child? So that if you want to tell them your story, you can tell them your story. They just decide that no, you are lazy. You and your husband are lazy. They don't know that you have been working so hard for nothing. Every time you get a miscarriage, you go through the labor pains, like the normal labor pains, that even the doctors told that even the pains of losing a child are more painful than, bringing a child to a child who's alive to earth. Because can you imagine that you are giving birth to a dead child? Or you are just losing, a child, especially when it's still in the early stages. Because my first miscarriage was 1 month. That, I mean, 2 months. That was not too much. And then the other one was four months. And then I had another one for 4 months. I had another one for the other two were 5 months. 5 months. I mean, the other one, the fourth one, was 5 months, and the last one was 7 months. So it was varying in months. It is painful. Each and every one of them were painful. But the last one, the 7 months one, was the most painful miscarriage that I've ever experienced. I was left with a sense of emptiness. But I understood. I understood what God was doing, because today, I am jealous about seeing somebody carrying vision, somebody carrying purpose, and allowing it to die. I am jealous when I see someone who has got the calling of God upon their lives, who's got the gift, who's got the skills, who has purpose in life, just not living that purpose and letting it die. I did not know that God is training me to be a midwife of purpose. I did not know that God is calling me to a place where I will be helping other people to give birth to their life purpose. It gives me such great joy to sit on to sit online, or to do one-on-one sessions, and to do group sessions, and to talk to people about that which God has called them to do. I am busy helping a lot of people that are wanting to give birth, that are pregnant about purpose, that are pregnant about something divine, something that God has given unto them. I'm passionate about helping them to give birth to their purpose. I'm passionate about helping them to activate their purpose. I'm passionate about helping them to reign in their purpose. I want to see them giving birth to that which God has called them to do. And that is why many a times the people that come to me, I'm attracting people that have gone through a lot of pain and are wanting to reign in purpose. And because I've traveled that road, because I've been there, because I've experienced different types of pain, I am able to take them by the hand. I meet people who were raped. I meet people who were rejected. I meet people who were, uh, who were divorced, even though I have not experienced that, but I know how divorce can make you feel as a child, because my family, my mother and my father went through divorce. So I meet different types of people. I meet people that have lost their husbands. You will never believe the many widows that I meet that are saying, I heard you talking on radio pulpit, and I felt I need to talk to you because it's more like your experience is my experience. I need somebody like you. I listen to you and I'm like, if you are so encouraged, if you are so empowered, if you are so powerful, if you are standing up like this, I can also stand up. And guess what? I am working with a number of people, a lot of people, in helping them to bring their purpose to life. I did not know that, the pain that I went through of losing children will actually speak to, the feeling that I have when I see someone who is gifted, when I see someone, if I can, most of the time, God has blessed me with this, I am able to see the gifts of other people. I'm able to see, the strengths of other people. And when I see that, I actually come closer and say, I see this in you. And a lot of people will wonder how I saw that, how I know that. But some people just come to me and say, we want to reign in purpose just like you do. And I find that people have been through a lot of pain. Some, they have been made feel unworthy, that they can't do certain things, that they are not worthy to do certain things. But you know what gives me joy is that as we talk about that which God has placed in their heart to do, that the reason why they are in this world, as we talk about their why, as we talk about their passion, as we talk about their dreams and aspirations, we begin to realize that these people are carrying something big, that's carrying something great that they need to give birth to. And it is my pleasure to help them through, to give birth to that gift, to give birth to that big purpose that God has given unto them. And I remember in one session, some people in the coaching session were saying to me, you know what, I'm beginning to write my book now. I'm beginning to write my book now, because at that time we were talking about purpose statement. I was taking them through the process of writing their purpose statement, and their purpose statement was giving them a bigger, fuller picture of what they need to do. And they felt like, you know what, this process, the step by step that we have taken us through, has helped us to already start our books. So I am working with people right now. When they finish the coaching session, they might just even launch their books. How wonderful, how nice. This happened as they were crafting their purpose statement. Pain is very much essential. And I just want to, before I close, let me read something for you from a book that has been written by my friend Pastor Lebo. You know her, we have spoken to her in this session, in in Purpose Conversations in the past. And the first chapter in this book will capture you. The first chapter in this book, it says, it pleased God. It pleased God. And she's taken this from the book of Isaiah 53, verse number 3 to 5 and 10. And the scripture reads as that. She's actually started with that scripture here. It says, he is despised and rejected of men, a man of sorrows and acquainted with grief. And we hid as it were our faces from him. He was despised and we esteemed him not. Surely he had borne our griefs and carried our sorrows, yet we did not esteem him stricken, smitten of God, afflicted. But he was wounded for our transgressions, he was bruised for our iniquities. The chastisement of our peace was upon him, and with his stripes we are healed. Yet it pleased the Lord to bruise him. Yet it pleased the Lord to bruise him. Imagine, think about it. Yet it pleased the Lord to bruise him. He hath put him to grief. He, the Lord put Jesus to grief. His own begotten Son, he put him to grief. When thou shalt make his soul an offering for sin, he shall see his seed, he shall prolong his days, and the pleasure of the Lord shall prosper in his hand. Now, here's the thing, and I think Pastor Lebo captured it so nicely. Excuse me. It pleased God. God allowed him to go through sorrow. God caused him grief. And as that was happening, God was pleased. God says in his word, I know the plans I have for you, plans to give you the future, plans to give you hope. There are not plans to harm you. So when you are going through your pain, when you are going through that divorce, when you are going through that relationship breakup, when you are going through that moment or season of being cheated upon, when you are going through that moment of being raped, when you are going through that moment of losing all your assets, and you are wondering what is happening, you're asking God, God, what on earth is going on? God is looking, God is watching. It does not mean that He does not love you like He did with Jesus. There was a plan, there was a plan in place, and the plan was to reconcile you and I to God. And that is why God was pleased when Jesus was bruised. And now, with your pain, with your sorrow, God is pleased. Why is He pleased? He's pleased because what you are going through is not necessarily for you, but it is for somebody else. You are going through that pain, you are going through that sorrow for somebody else. The lessons that you are taking from that journey are the lessons that you're going to use to help somebody else. The lessons I took from a journey of miscarrying my children is the lesson that says to me, Mabel, don't, you cannot allow anybody that you see, anybody that has got purpose, anybody that has got some kind of a calling, you can't allow them, you can't allow that purpose to die. Bring that purpose to life. That is why I partner with you in bringing your purpose to life. I cannot allow your purpose to die. I cannot allow your dream to die. I cannot allow your aspirations to die. Somebody else needs you. Somebody else needs your story. Your story is good to help another person to rise up again. Your story is good to help another person to stand up again and to say it like Maya Angelou, still I rise. Still I rise. Child of God, it is pleasing God that you're going through what you're going through. You ask Him, where are you? I don't know where are you. I can't feel you. I can't trace you. I don't feel you even when I try to pray. I can't feel you. I can't hear you talking to me. I can't hear your voice anymore. Where are you? Just like Jesus. Jesus, when he was going through a lot of pain, he was saying to God, Eloi, Eloi, lama sabachthani, which meant that, my God, why hast thou forsaken me? We get to that point sometimes when pain is too intense. We're asking God, where are you? If you have come to that point where you ask God, where are you? I want to tell you, my beloved friend, that you are going through pain because it is pleasing God. And why is it pleasing God? It's pleasing God because Mabel is waiting for your story to stand up. Precious is waiting for your story to stand up. Nomsa is waiting for your story to stand up. Somebody else is waiting for that experience. That experience is going to save somebody else's life. So stand up, my friend. Stand up. Hold your head high. Keep the faith and continue to move on. Trust God for that process that He is taking you through. You will only be better. You will only get better when you go through pain. I am personally very much lonely when there is no pain. When there is pain in my life, I know that there are so many lessons to learn. I'm ready with my journal and I document every feeling I go through with each and every pain. Before, I did not know how to use a journal, but today I know that I need to capture every moment. Some people, they capture it by phone and stuff like that. Sometimes I fail. I can't. I always capture happy moments. To be honest, when I am in sorrow, it's not easy for me to capture myself, crying. But I want to tell you, I want to assure you that whatever that you are going through, God has not forsaken you. God is always by your side. He will never leave you and He will never forsake you. And as I'm saying that, I'm reminded of the message that I shared with the church this morning, and I want to close with that. I want to close with that devotion that I shared with the church this morning. I always, share with them what God releases in my spirit every morning as I do my personal morning devotion. And as I am doing that, God drops a word in my spirit. I don't keep the word to myself. I share the word with the church. Now, I want to read this message to you, the message that I sent to the church this morning. Dear precious one, rejoice, for I will not forsake you. I will not cast off my people who are called by my name. I am always with you. If you fear that you will slip and fall, my mercy will be right there to hold you up. Fear not. I am God Almighty. I'm the one who makes a way out of no way. I promise to go up before you, and the sun shall not smite you by day, nor the moon by night, for I am always by your side. You will break through every gate that tries to hold you up. You will break through every gate that tries to delay and stagnate you. You will go out triumphantly. You shall cease to experience barrenness in certain areas of your life. You will be fruitful. You will be like a tree that is planted by the water. No wall will stop your branches from growing and spreading. Your branches will spring out and climb every wall and stagnation that is trying to stop your growth. Fear not. I am your defense at all times. I do not sleep nor slumber. I am your rock and I am your refuge. And I gave them the scriptures, the following scriptures: Ephesians chapter 1, verse 13 to 14, Psalm chapter 2, verse 7 to 8, Psalm chapter 94, verse 18 to 19. Child of God, today as I close, I decree and declare in the mighty name of Jesus Christ of Nazareth, that you will flourish like a palm tree and no evil shall stop your growth. I decree and declare that you shall grow like a cedar in Lebanon. Believe it, receive it, claim it. It is yours. Amen. Thank you for watching. God bless you. Until next time.